Under the Willow Tree. Introduction. Emma and Liam had been best friends since they were kids. They grew up in a small town called Willow Creek, spending most of their time under a big, old willow tree by the river. It was their favorite spot, where they laughed, shared secrets, and dreamed about the future. As they grew older, their lives changed. Liam became a journalist, always chasing stories around the world, while Emma stayed in Willow Creek to care for animals as a veterinarian. Even though life got busy, they always made time for each other, whether it was through quick chats or meeting under the willow tree. The big news one warm summer evening, Liam asked Emma to meet him under the willow tree. He seemed excited but nervous. "I got a new job offer," he said, pacing back and forth. "What job?" Emma asked, sitting on the grass. "I'll be an international correspondent. I'll travel the world telling important stories." "It's what I've always wanted," Liam said with a big smile. Emma's heart felt heavy. She was happy for Liam, but the thought of him leaving made her sad. "That's amazing, Liam," she said, trying to sound cheerful. "You should go for it." Liam sat beside her. "But leaving means being far away from you. You're the most important part of my life." Emma squeezed his hand. "You'll never lose me, Liam. Go chase your dreams. I'll always be here when you come back." They made a promise that night under the willow tree. No matter where life took them, they would always return to that spot and to each other. Time apart. Liam left for his new job a few weeks later. At first, he and Emma stayed in touch through calls and messages. Liam shared exciting stories about the places he visited, while Emma told him about her work and life in Willow Creek. But as time passed, their calls became less frequent. Liam was always busy, and Emma didn't want to bother him. She missed him more than she expected, but she told herself that it was okay. He was living his dream. A surprise message. 3 years later, Emma got a text from Liam. "Meet me under the willow tree tomorrow." Her heart raced as she read the message. She hadn't seen him in so long. What could he want? The next evening, Emma walked to the willow tree. Liam was already there, leaning against the trunk. His hair was longer, and he looked a little tired, but he smiled when he saw her. "Hey, stranger," Emma said, trying to hide how nervous she felt. "Hey, Em," Liam said softly. They sat down under the tree and started talking. It felt like old times. Liam told her about his travels, but Emma noticed something different. He didn't seem as excited as he used to. "Why did you ask me to meet you here?" Emma finally asked. Liam looked at the river for a moment, before turning to her. "Because I realized something while I was away. No matter where I went or what I did, I always missed this place, and I missed you the most." Emma's eyes widened. "What are you saying, Liam?" "I'm saying that I love you, Emma," he said, his voice steady. "You're my home." Happily, ever after tears, filled Emma's eyes as she smiled. "I've been waiting to hear you say that for so long." Under the willow tree, Liam and Emma finally shared the kiss they had both secretly dreamed about for years. After that day, Liam decided to take a job closer to Willow Creek. Emma was happier than ever, knowing they could build a life together. The willow tree, once a symbol of their friendship, became the place where their love story began. The Painting of Us. Introduction. Nina and Arjun were best friends for as long as they could remember. They lived in the same apartment building as kids, went to the same schools, and even worked in the same city after college. While they had their own lives, they always found time for each other, whether it was sharing meals, laughing over silly jokes, or just being there when things got tough. Nina loved painting and dreamed of having her own art gallery one day. Arjun was an architect who spent his time designing tall, shiny buildings. They supported each other in everything, always cheering each other on. A big opportunity. One day, Nina got exciting news. She was chosen to display her work in a big art exhibition in the city. This was her chance to show people her talent. She immediately called Arjun. That's amazing, Nina, Arjun said. I'm so proud of you. But Nina was nervous. What if no one likes my paintings? What if I fail? You won't, Arjun said firmly. Your work is beautiful, just like you. She laughed. Stop joking. I'm serious, he replied. You've worked so hard for this, and I'll be there every step of the way. Preparing for the exhibition. Over the next few weeks, Nina worked tirelessly to finish her paintings. Arjun visited her studio often, bringing snacks and making her laugh when she felt stressed. One evening, while they were sitting on the floor surrounded by her art, Nina showed him a special painting she had been working on secretly. It was a picture of a cozy park bench surrounded by trees and sunlight. On the bench sat two figures, clearly meant to be Nina and Arjun. Do you like it? Nina asked nervously. Arjun stared at the painting for a long moment. It's perfect, he said. The exhibition day. The big day finally arrived. Nina's paintings were displayed in a beautiful gallery, and people walked around admiring them. Arjun stood by her side, encouraging her as visitors came to talk about her work. Then a man approached Nina and stopped in front of the painting of the park bench. This one is special, he said. It feels so full of love. Nina blushed. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Arjun glanced at her, his heart racing. He had always thought of Nina as his best friend, but in that moment, he realized something had changed. Seeing her shine and hearing the man's words made him wonder, was this more than friendship? A silent goodbye. A few days after the exhibition, Arjun got an offer to move to another city for a big project. It was a great opportunity, but the thought of leaving Nina made his chest ache. When he told her the news, she smiled. That's amazing, Arjun. You should go. But I don't want to leave you, he admitted. You'll never leave me, Nina said softly. We'll always be connected, no matter where you are. They hugged tightly, both feeling things they weren't ready to say. Time apart. Arjun moved to the new city, and life became different for both of them. They stayed in touch, but it wasn't the same. Nina missed their easy conversations and his warm presence. Arjun threw himself into his work, but his thoughts often drifted to her. One day, while unpacking, Arjun found a small sketch Nina had made for him years ago. It was a simple drawing of them laughing together. Seeing it made him realize the truth. He loved Nina. A reunion. A year later, Arjun returned to visit the city. He surprised Nina by showing up at her studio. When she saw him standing in the doorway, her heart skipped a beat. You're back, she exclaimed, running to hug him. I had to come, he said, holding her tightly. I missed you. They spent the day catching up, walking through their favorite spots in the city. Finally, as they sat on a park bench, just like in her painting, Arjun took a deep breath. Nina, there's something I've been meaning to tell you, he said. I love you. I think I've loved you for a long time, but I didn't realize it until we were apart. Nina's eyes widened in surprise, then filled with tears. I've been waiting for you to say that, she whispered. I love you too. Happily ever after. From that moment on, Nina and Arjun were no longer just best friends. They were partners in every sense. Nina's art flourished with Arjun's support, and Arjun found inspiration in her love for life. And just like in her painting, they always found their way back to each other, no matter what. The wedding that changed everything. Introduction. Ria and Kunal had been best friends since high school. Everyone around them teased that they acted like a couple, but Ria and Kunal always laughed it off. We're just friends, they'd say in unison. Even after school, they stayed close. Kunal became a software engineer, while Ria ran her own bakery. They were each other's support system through every challenge, breakup, and late-night crisis. One day, Kunal's older sister, Priya, announced she was getting married. She asked Kunal and Ria to help plan the wedding. Excited by the idea, they both agreed without realizing just how much work it would be. The wedding plans begin. The planning started with enthusiasm. Ria loved organizing the decorations and choosing the cake, while Kunal handled the logistics like booking venues and coordinating with vendors. But their different personalities quickly led to arguments. Kunal, we can't just choose the first caterer we see, Ria complained one day. We need to taste the food. Food is food, Ria. No one will remember what they eat, Kunal argued. Ria glared at him. If you keep being this lazy, your sister's wedding will be a disaster. Despite the bickering, they worked well together. As the wedding day approached, their bond grew even stronger. A moment of realization. One evening, after a long day of planning, Kunal and Ria sat on the floor of his living room, surrounded by color swatches and invitation samples. This is exhausting, Kunal said, leaning back against the couch. Tell me about it, Ria replied, yawning. Kunal looked at her, a soft smile playing on his lips. You know, if this were our wedding, you'd probably drive me crazy with all your perfectionism, Ria laughed, and you'd drive me crazy with your laziness. For a moment, they stared at each other, the room falling silent. What if... Kunal started, then stopped, shaking his head. What if what? Ria asked, her heart suddenly racing.